morning, friends. It is March 17th. We have 5 orders. 2 of them are from the same person to be combined, so 4 actual orders, 5 things to pick, if that makes any sense. You know what I mean. So let's see. Again, the information's here, so I'm going to lower the camera for just a minute. Let's see, all orders, 2 orders. Yeah, one's waiting payment. That's cool. So I guess I have to select each one. And it is only... So the 5th was waiting on payment. I thought there was more of that. All right, pick. That's right, their information's still on there. All right, so I'm not going to flash more customer info. I was going to record the... Yes, my nails are red today. I was going to record the customers, or at least the picking process, but since their name is on there, I want to blur every single thing all the time. We saw how it went last time, so I want to just not record it now. Good morning, it is the 18th of March, and I am entering some inventory. Had an issue with trying to figure out how to do it, and then figured out, or I was informed that I just need to flip an option. So just I'm sorry, I'm watching just a brick in the bucket while I do this. The batch, you create batches, which is, Bricqer, you create files to upload, and then you put in your part number, your color, and then you can elect if there's a note on it, a comment, and it uses that information to give you a location if you already have that part. So it helps you just consolidate it as you go. And then if you don't have one, it'll tell you, please fill in the location kind of thing. It'll automatically suggest of course I'm showing one that doesn't. It'll automatically suggest a currently existing comment for that part. So you're able to just do that, and you can tab, go through, and it's pretty quick. I will say I haven't had any issues with that so far. One thing I wish I could do is be able to just add this to my batch without having to put in a location yet, and it could be flagged or something. So I could just add in a bunch of parts and then go back and figure out, missing information, location information, whatever, be able to do that. So that's a little tiny pet peeve. It's not a big one. And since I'm already putting in these parts, I can, add it in as I go. And you can just leave it auto, and unfortunately, you can come back and edit stuff. It's just the location is kind of a locked in thing. But let's see. I need my actual part number back, 3795. And then we'll go with, I haven't done light gray yet, or light blue gray. So that, tab, down arrow, enter to select the one that's being used. Now you can see it's automatically filled in where that exists. I have 2. Oh, well, no, I just destroyed it. Hit the wrong button, and everything's gone. Will it resuggest? There it is. Okay. If I hit the right button, it'll be fine. So that's done. I can just, since I'm entering all of the same part, I can just paste, pick my next color, arrow down, enter. And if you hit enter here, it'll just keep going. So you have to tab through. So tab and enter your friends. If you're good on the keyboard, it's pretty quick. If you're not good on the keyboard, if you're used to the more mostly mouse-based interface of Bricqer, it'll take a second to get used to. But I do all sorts of editing and stuff on. I do all sorts of talking at the same time. video editing and animation and motion and such through After Effects and Cinema 4D programs is my day job, and those are heavy mouse and keyboard hybrid environments. And if you can use a keyboard, then you can go pretty quickly on a bunch of that stuff. So there's definitely a feeling of that. So I've got all these entered within a short time. I just gotta do these last ones and I'm good. So like I said, the only thing I would want different from this is that if it's not in existence yet in the store, to be able to consolidate into an existing lot, that I can have like the ability to leave the location blank until like I'm ready to put in all of that information. So if I put in all of these and I had like 3 of them that didn't exist in the store yet, that the location would let me leave it blank for now. But then before I could upload the stock, I would have to put in missing stuff. That'd be cool. So there's like pros and cons versus using a brick store environment. I will say if you do prefer brick store, you can import a BSX file. I imported one with something else the other day and it was fine. No issues there. So just something to keep in mind as you manage your inventory. Morning, it's Wednesday, March 19th, and the Bricqer gods have heard my cry. First off, one of the things of hiding information, this was already here, I just wasn't aware of it. But if you're up here, you tap your little person icon, there's a display settings, and then you can hide personally identifiable information and statistics, which is like the money, dollar amounts and such about that. So now when you go into orders and you can see the name there is blurred out. So you don't want to go pick the order, then it is blurred out. I just noticed that. So we are going to pick this order. Just say, oh no, Skitz Bricks is already picking it because I was opening my desktop. We're going to do the other thing they said is spacebar now should advance. So I'm going to go grab this drawer and he said his part's ready. Hey, buddy. All right, we're going to want 125 of them. So let's see. Moment of truth. Okay. I wonder if there's something going on. Well, let's see. My keyboard did need to wake up. Ha! It worked! Glorious! Oh, and there's customer information right there. But great gloriousness. The spacebar worked. Perfect. All right. I'm going to cut this clip, count this order, maybe fire back an email. Fire. That sounds more intense than I mean it. Respond. There's still a couple spots where the order number or the order customer information shows. It's just their name, so it's not like a whole address, which is better not to have the whole address. I still like their name to be hidden if possible. So I'm just gonna send that back. What's up, party people? I was working on doing a batch with adding some parts, and I had 2 pain points, if you will, that I was doing, and Bricqer already had those solved for me. I just had to find it. So for instance, I'm adding a bunch of plates, and so I come in here and I have the part. So you type in the part number, tab, you put in the color, tab, you find the condition based off of, it'll have the drop down with, if you already have it in there, it'll say it or whatever. Then tab quantity, tab location, it'll automatically fill the price. You just hit tab, and then it goes to the next one, and the line's already there. For that, I had to retype in the part number and then type the new color, etc. So I was like, it'd be nice if I could just like have all of the part numbers, right there, and not have to type it in again if I'm doing, a whole bunch of 2x8s all at once. That I could just be there. Well, Bricqer has that covered that I just discovered this morning. Remember part number. Where there's the cursor. Remember part number. It's right there, and it works. So it'll remember part number. The other thing that I always have an issue with is remember location. So for instance, I was putting in these 4x6 plates. I think that's what it was. And there's one or two colors, or maybe it was these 1x10s. It doesn't really matter. Putting in the parts, and there was some that were new lots. I didn't have them in the store, so when I needed to put them in, I had to go and I needed to copy that, paste it into the location box and whatever. Well, remember location keeps that location there. So if you're punching it along and you have, for instance, this 1109 for there, you have that for your location. Then you start to add the next part. It automatically has that filled in. So if you're putting in another one of these, and say I put it in on, I don't know, dark blue or whatever, just some color that I don't already have. I'm pretty sure I have that, but whatever. You put it in, and it's so when you don't have, you type in the color and everything, the location information will already be there. So you don't even have to type it in again. It's just right there. So that's super duper handy. It makes it extra fast to input stuff. And I tested it also. I was like, well, what happens if you get to a part then that you have already in the store? Will it correct? And it does. So I looked up these 2x8s that I've got right here. I was like, what's one that I have that's not the same as the rest? And I have one that's in this light gray. And I've put that in a different drawer just so it doesn't get mixed up with the light blue gray. And but then the rest of them, all the rest of my 2x8s are in Overflow 4.9. So I punched in the D22 and left on the save location and remember location or remember part number. Put that one in, tab, and boom, it came up with a part number already filled in on the top box for this one. I put in Aqua, which I know I don't have. So to that, it saved the location right here, D22, so it would go into where that one is. Tab, and then I did the same thing, but I typed in light bluish gray, picked my existing note here, and it automatically changed from D22 to my Overflow 4.9 section. So it will intelligently go through and it'll remember where things are, and if it comes across one that it doesn't remember, it'll keep what you had last. So obviously, so long as you're not going through, if you're just doing stuff like this, that's different. If you've got lots that are maybe minifigure parts, you just got to be a little more careful with the remember location, that you're not adding like, all right, well, here's my A grade torsos, and then here's my B grade torsos. Just being careful that it doesn't get stuck in the same spot. But this is perfect. It is like incredibly time saving on, a task such as just entering plates. So all I have to do now is, well, let's just say I'll separate out my light blue gray, dark blue gray, white, just to get that base example. All right, I'm going to cut these two because I'm not actually adding any light blue gray. It'll ask, are you sure you want to do this? And you can, I don't know if you can actually select multiples, but one by one, I guess. It's okay. Just don't have the wrong parts. All right, by 3034, I already have these light filled in. I've got 4 of them here. So let's type in, not 14, but 4. Now I just have to hit tab. Let's hide Facebook just in case. It'll probably pull up the price if you leave it long enough. All right, so drop down below. It keeps that. I think I turned off. Okay, remember location works sometimes. That did happen to me earlier, so praise it as much as I can. But remember location does disappear on occasion for some reason. Don't know why, but regardless, keeping the part number in here is more important to me, especially when it's a bunch of stuff that I already have in the store. blue gray, tab, down, tab. I have 2, tab, tab, tab. Boom, look at the next one then. And I can just tab again, white, tab. Oh, I don't have any white. So this is where I wish the remember location did work. I don't know why. Unless when you autofill it doesn't. Who knows? But we're going to do overflow 4-09. And it'll tab back to quantity if you don't have that entered in, which I did forget. I'm just going to copy this and paste it there. My quantity to 4. And that's it. So I entered those parts in pretty quick time. The remember location. See, now it's on there. I think if you type it in, it'll be in there. If it autofills in, I don't know. Not sure what the stipulations are, but you know, reddish brown and lime. So I already got the part number. I just need to do lime. 1, tab, 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 done. So now it's not there. So at least the part number stays, which to me is the more important thing. Reddish brown. Oh, I missed the quantity, so it wraps back around. 1, tab to tab, and it's there. So really, really fast, a lot faster than Brick Store for this, especially with that part number remembered. And then once you get to know the part number, you just type it in. So if you have a good sorting system already figured up, then it will take you, no time at all to do this. Then 13 blue ones added already. So I am a fan of this, and makes it really super simple to be able to just do that. And then I just hit upload stock to shops and it's there. So be able to put these parts in where they belong. I kind of just doing it as I go. So once I finish all the 4x4s, I just went ahead and dumped them in where they went. I'll put these in once I get the last colors and just cook along pretty quick, hit upload, and I'm done. Lots of parts added real fast.